to join? Yeah. Hey. Okay. I have a page turn, so just ignore me while I change.
Okay. How long's your page? Do you have a rest?
No. But it's okay.
Where is it at? I can try to read.
It's right before the 6/8.
Okay.
It's the measure before the 6/8. I'll just skip the measure before the 6/8 and come in at the 6/8.
Okay. Earned our money there.
We got like 2 minutes. So.
Yeah, look at
Good afternoon, everyone. One favor, I ask that you turn your cell phone to silent mode in respect of the ceremonies this afternoon. Thank you. You could even turn them off if you want. Graduates, President Emeritus Cochran, faculty, staff, alumni, parents, distinguished guests, family, and friends. It is my pleasure and honor to welcome you to the commencement exercises of Southern College of Optometry. Today, we celebrate commencement for the class of 2023. These graduates were first-year students when the COVID-19 pandemic hit 3 years ago. To our graduates, most of your optometry school experience was spent navigating the complexities of a public health crisis. We're all happy that your fourth year of optometry school is ending quite a bit better than your first year. Everyone in attendance today salutes your dedication and the hard work that you put in to complete your optometry program under such challenging circumstances. You did it, and that deserves a round of applause from us all. I know today's graduates join me in extending a special welcome to their family and friends, whose love and support have helped to make this day possible. We know each of you hold a special place in the hearts of our graduates. Graduates, please join me in showing our appreciation to all of our guests. In the summer of 2019, we were privileged to welcome this wonderful class to the SCO campus. Today, the members of the class of 2023 become our colleagues. You're now part of a rich history that will continue throughout your careers. 50 years ago, in 1973, there were other graduates just like you who looked forward to a lifetime of professional success. A half-century later, we're honored to have several members of the class of 1973 with us today as they celebrate their 50-year reunion. I'd like to ask these special guests to stand and be recognized. To our 50-year reunion guests and all assembled here, thank you for joining us in celebrating the transitioning of these outstanding women and men into the profession of optometry. Graduation Day is truly a day of great significance. This is not only for those receiving diplomas, but for the college and the profession. I would like to take a moment to recognize SCO's faculty and staff. This group of individuals is dedicated to the success of our students. They've worked over the last 4 years to make our campus as safe as possible for our students, our patients, and each other. Together, the goal of our faculty and staff is for our graduates to succeed. It's why a great majority of them support our annual faculty staff giving appeal. The level of participation in this is likely unmatched by other professional programs, and is proof of how invested we all are in your success. As a whole, your class has demonstrated an extraordinary commitment. Even during a pandemic, you never lost sight of your dream of becoming doctors of optometry. We expect great things from you and look forward to recognizing your accomplishments throughout your career as alumni. At this point, I would like to ask Anna Britt, President of Class of 2023, to come forward and present the class address. Anna?
Welcome to the class of 2023 graduation. I first want to begin by saying thank you. Thank you to our parents. Hi, Mike and Sharon. Thank you to our siblings, grandparents, family members, significant others, and friends. The encouragement and support and countless phone calls answered during stressful times and in times of celebration mean more than you will ever know. Thank you to our faculty and staff, SCO alum and donors, and everyone who is with us today that has supported us. As you all know, the road to today has not always been easy, and we would not be here today, where we are today, without each and every one of you, so thank you. Many of us in class of 2023 have lost loved ones or have loved ones who are not able to be with us today. I ask that you please take a moment of silence, a moment of prayer to honor these individuals. Thank you. Now let's reflect on our time at SCO together. Think back to that very first day stepping foot on campus. For most of us, this was interview day. Your parents or significant other may have joined you as you walked in the front door, seeing Miss Joyce greeting you with a bright smile and laughter. Little did you know she would greet you by name daily, and the entire security team would bring encouragement and positivity into every day. Let's give our security team a quick round of applause. Now think back to housing fair, coming to Memphis, maybe not knowing anybody just like me, meeting your classmates and future roommate, Lindsay, for the first time, having no idea those people you went to Rail Garden or Tin Roof with would become some of your best lifelong friends, and also not knowing that would be one of the first of many nights on Beale Street. Fast forward to orientation and the first day of class, realizing the long journey that lied ahead, especially after our first round of midterms. Next up was COVID chapter, of virtual classes in the unknown. To look on the bright side, I got to live at the lake and fish with my dad every day, so there's always a silver lining when you get to spend extra time with your family. Now it's January 2022, and Lindsay Bergstrom and I somehow convinced our friends to become UGA fans, especially Emmy, and we won the national championship game, so go Dogs. During our first 3 years, we have taken 138 exams and 38 practicals, not including our 3 NBEO board examinations. You all should be so proud of yourselves. SCO continues to be on the forefront of optometric education. Our class was the first to take the optometric surgical and procedures course, led by Dr. Dorkowski, Dr. Duncan, and Dr. Hogan. Additionally, Maria Layton and Bree Hughes were the very first students at SCO to perform YAG and SLT laser procedures. Since then, several students have assisted in performing in-office surgical and laser procedures. We have gone our separate ways these past 3 years, or on these past 3 rotations, and students have gotten to explore incredible cities and figure out what is next. Class of 2023, this next chapter in our lives is exciting. We walk out of here today as optometrists. Some of us will be continuing their education and residency programs, like Lindsay Bergstrom at Bascom Palmer in ocular disease, Jackie Malish at the Kansas City VA in ocular disease and low vision, McKenna Scott at Children's Wisconsin Hospital in pediatrics, Jacqueline Dang at Western University in vision rehab, brain injury, and vision therapy, and Kaylin Thompson at the Bay Pines VA in primary care. That's just to name a few of the 30-plus students continuing their education and residency programs. Some of us will be serving in our country, Carly Buber, John Eric Kempworth, and Lauren Olmstead, Army. Some of us will begin working for nonprofit community health centers and clinics like Maverick Shumway in Blanding, Utah. And finally, many students will begin their careers working in private practice and corporate settings. Every single person in class of 2023 inspires me. I am so unbelievably proud of you and excited for your future careers. We are now here together today to be thankful, reflect on the incredible moments we've had together, and be proud of the many accomplishments that we've made during our time at SCO. As we embark on this next chapter, I encourage each of you to remember your why. Yes, I sound just like Dr. Wade. But really, remember why you decided optometry was for you, why patient care is so important to you. This always takes me back to the golden rule: treat others as you would like to be treated. Every patient that walks into your office deserves the absolute best quality care that you have to offer. They are somebody's mom, dad, brother, sister, child. They deserve equal care as your family members. This next chapter of your life will not always be easy. It is up to you to show up every day and be the best that you can be for every patient you see. This will keep you humble. This will allow you to continue being proud of your accomplishments every day, striving to do more for lifelong learning, not only for yourself, but for your patients and for this profession. Class of 2023, I am deeply honored to know each and every one of you. I am looking forward to seeing you at conferences across the country and at SCO functions in the future, so thank you. Next, I'm going to present the Class of 2023 Teacher of the Year Award. This goes to a professor that always goes above and beyond to teach us There are never too many questions you can ask him. He always likes to joke around and is never afraid to quiz you in clinic. So our class of 2023 Teacher of the Year is Dr. Borgman.
Thank you very much. Great job, Anna. Thank you. I would like to introduce you this afternoon to a personal hero of mine by the name of Marty Regan. I could talk extensively about his significant accomplishments. For example, the fact that he graduated from law school just 2 years after he graduated from Notre Dame. Or the fact that Marty was the legal mind that brought the Grizzlies to Memphis in 2001. That was a feat that earned him the Sportsman of the Year award from the Commercial Appeal. Marty is a senior staff attorney to the city of Memphis. He's also the general counsel or director, and in certain cases, the founder of many nonprofits here in Memphis, including one by the name of Southern College of Optometry. But all of these accomplishments do not tell you what kind of person Marty Regan is. So please indulge me for a moment to tell you about Marty. Marty truly has the biggest heart of any person that I've ever met. He will happily provide his time and expertise and guidance at any time and to anyone who needs him. When I say any time, I pretty much mean a true 24/7. Marty always cheerfully answers the phone, be it 11 o'clock in the morning on a Monday morning or 7 a.m. on a Saturday morning. Through the years, I've imagined that Marty works so much that he sleeps in his necktie. Marty prefers to work behind the scenes, but he tirelessly helps those who requires assistance. He has attended court and pays fines for SCO students so they don't have to miss class for traffic infractions. Does that. He helps senior citizens who are only able to pay him with home cooking. Cakes, wontons, watermelon juice come to mind as a few specific forms of payment. Marty has unknowingly taught me what it's like to be a celebrity in this town. Going out for a meal with him is always interesting. He usually knows most of the people in the restaurant, including the owners. Getting seated takes some time as everybody wants to greet Marty and shake hands with him, so you have to be patient. For nearly 40 years, Marty Regan has provided an invaluable service to SCO's success through his work as the college's legal counsel. His impressive knowledge and expertise have benefited our institution tremendously, as well as the Memphis community. Marty happens to be a native Memphian, kind of, having grown up in the formerly country neighborhood known as Germantown. Through his service to 3 different administrations at SCO, he's been a key part of the college's growth and standing in our community. In the early 2000s, Marty was instrumental in the development of SCO's efforts to build the Eye Center, and he's a major supporter of our institution. Most importantly, I'm honored to call him my good friend. He's a true ambassador for SCO, so please join me in welcoming today's graduation speaker, Marty Regan.
Greetings, and I appreciate that introduction. It's far too complimentary. To the Southern College Board of Trustees, to our administration, faculty and staff, and our greater community of families that support the class of 2023, we welcome you here. I also wanted to welcome Dr. Martha Rosemore Mora, who is here. I mention her because she's here representing her deceased father, Frederick Rosemore, her mother, Marion, who received the Doctor of Humane Letters in 2017, her 3 children, Dana, Mendebeth, and Stuart, all of whom are ODs, as people that have really carried the flag for Southern College of Optometry. I mentioned she's happily married to a gentleman, Johnny Mack, and I get a story from Billy Cochran that every year she gives a Valentine box of chocolates from Dennis Stool to Johnny Mack, and there's a little card that says, "Johnny Mack, I love you almost as much as I love SCO." That's a true person who loves the college. I mentioned to you her family. I believe her deceased father is one of the most honored graduates of our college. He was a B-17 navigator in World War II. He was a prisoner of war in Germany. He was a member of the Jewish faith. He earned 2 Purple Hearts. He wrote to the president of Southern College from a prison camp and said, "I'd like to go to optometry school." And I mention this because most people don't know this story. He came and he was educated. He had a degree. He worked 30 years as an optometrist. And he realized when he graduated, banks did not recognize the importance of your degree. So what did he do? He formed PMC Capital that became a public corporation, a stock-held bank, to support young professionals, young optometrists, and people that otherwise could not get financing. And so I mentioned this to you to let you know what the history of SCO and its graduates has been and the people that honor the college. I'll do my best now to determine an appropriate content for today's address. I sought out some of my closest friends at SCO, David West and many others, and I said, what would be meaningful to graduates today? Each responded, "It does not matter, keep it short." Well, I then read a famous quote from our former senator, Senator Howard Baker. One of his greatest quotes is, "I increasingly believe that the essence of leadership is to be an eloquent listener." I think there's signs here to keep it short and to listen. But then I called my good friend, Dr. Billy Cochran, and I said, "Billy, do you have any advice?" And his comment to me was, "Marty, there's always time for a few good stories." So I apologize, I'm gonna follow Billy's lead and not keep it that short, but I'll also be respectful of your time. As a little history, I started practicing with Southern College of Optometry in 1985. I was the legal counsel, and I was good friends of the president, Dr. Billy Cochran. We played racquetball twice a week, and I thought, I'm a big man on campus. I'm playing racquetball with the president. A few years later, I went with my then SCO card, and it did not work to open the doors, and I thought, I represent a hospital client. When that happens, you're cut off from the copy machine, you can't access the garage, and you're about to be told, "Thank you for your service." Well, Billy said, "Don't worry, Marty. Go to security and see what the problem is." So I went to the security office, and there was a lady I really did not know, and I said, "This security card doesn't open the door anymore." And I started to say, "I'm friends of the president. I'm your attorney." I didn't say that first, though. I said, "Any reason this card doesn't work?" And she looked at me with a smirk, and she said, "I thought you would have graduated by now." Well, after telling her I was her lawyer, she turned my card back on, and I've had access to Southern College ever since. I did want to tell you that it's a great honor 38 years later to be getting a diploma from Southern College. And I wish I had her address, and I'd go back and say, after 38 years, I've graduated. I've got a diploma from SCO, and I'm proud of it. Well, since those days in 1985, much has changed. But to make this an even longer talk, I want to tell you the only optometric joke I know. There's a patient named Old Joe, and he's in intensive care across the street at Methodist Hospital. Joe's about to die, and the treating physician tells him the prognosis. Says, "Joe, any last request?" And Joe says, "I'd like to see my optometrist." The doctor makes a call to SCO and overcomes Dr. Bart Campbell, who appears in ICU, and he's there with the doctor, the treating physician, and Joe. And Bart says, "Joe, out of curiosity, why did you ask for me?" And Joe promptly says, "All of my life, doctor, I've wondered, which is better, A or B? 1 or 2? I've never known." Well, those of you who know Dr. Campbell, he adjusted his glasses and he said, "Joe, the answer to this is yours. It's not my responsibility to tell you how you see it. You've got to answer that yourself." And then Joe passed away, but he mumbled to his doctor first. And Bart said, "Doc, what were his last words?" And his last words, "I wish I'd called my pastor." Well, that gives you a little history of SCO, and it also gave me the lead-in for this talk, which was, I'm an attorney, and the only thing I know about optometry is the question, which is better, A or B? 1 or 2, A or B, and you can cover one eye when you answer because I'm going to give you all a test. And I want everyone to take out a virtual quarter sheet of paper, and I want you to tell me, how do you see it? And A is going to be when I started in 1985, or 1, A or 1. B, or number 2, is how do you see it today, May 2023 at graduation? And this is a cumulative test. And so if you miss some of the questions, there's a high likelihood you're still going to pass. And the first question is, which do you like better, A, 1985, or B, 2023? And question 1 is tuition. Tuition 1985, $11,500. That sounds great. And in 1985, gas was $1.20 a gallon. But if you look at inflation, that factors into $3.65 a gallon. Tuition today is only $39,000. That's a lot better than Vanderbilt at $80,000 a year. And I've mentioned this because your administration, the number one theme in the Board of Directors Trustees meeting is how do we keep Southern College affordable? And over the past 38 years, I think our tuition is still one of the most affordable in the country. Let me move on now to the average student GPA. Question 2. And again, if you want to cover one eye and answer, that's permissible. A, in 1985, the average GPA was 2.88. Billy Cochran was the president, and you could come with 3 years of college and graduate as a student with your college degree and your SCO degree. Today, 2023, 3.69 is the entering class GPA. And I say that your administration has raised the bar significantly. You, the 2023 class, are among the brightest in the country, not in Memphis and not at SCO, but in the country. And I congratulate you today with the excellence. I'm going to move on to question 3, and this is going to be pass-fail, so if you get any of these wrong, you're still going to probably pass. Number of states represented in 1985, 21. Number of states now, 37, and there are graduates in every state among the 7,000 SCO graduates. Here's an impressive factor. Question number 4, which is better? The number of students we had in 85, 421, or today, 527. That represents 106 students as a class that is larger than when I started in 85. What does that mean? Well, here's some of the things having 106 extra students means. That's comparable to the entire 1985 first-year class. How does administration deal with the fact that you've got an entire class of students above and beyond where you started? And I'll share with you some of the things I've seen in the Board of Trustee deliberations. One of the things is you really cannot operate with a clinic on the first floor. What do? We went to Allied Irish Bank, we borrowed money, we got Nedick Bobo, we designed a 55,000 square foot clinic, and we raised the bar. Not only did we raise the bar from having 9,000 patients, we now have 55,000 patients a year in the clinic. We're able to provide the major source of vision care in West Tennessee, primarily for the indigent populations. What are some of the other things that means? Well, when you have a class of 160 extra students, that's not just students, that's faculty, that's workers, that's people that are on campus. And there's some very practical things. How do you find an extra 150 parking spaces? Poor Dr. Reich, he can probably answer that better than anybody, because today we're used to calling Amazon Prime and we get it tomorrow. Well, you can't call Amazon Prime and get 150 parking spaces tomorrow delivered. The administration wrestles in the rooms. The administration, through the Board of Trustees, looks at the future, and they look at what is the best interest in the future for our students, and I commend them for all of those efforts. Here's a question that I think really is impactful to this class. Average starting salary of the graduates in 1985. I don't know if anyone can guess the answer. $33,000 is the answer. Average starting salary today, and this is what I'm told, verified, $140,000 is the average starting salary. Lewis mentioned I raced through law school. I'm thinking I should have gone to optometry school. And congratulations for what you all do for your profession and for the job opportunities you have. We'll move on to another question, number of faculty members. 1985, we had 28 full-time and 8 part-time faculty members. Today, we have 53 full-time and 15 part-time. That's almost double the personnel. Do you get the sense I'm building up to a finality today, that we've got a much larger budget? We've got a much larger need at Southern College, and I do work with the development office to encourage you to also see that pattern. I do notice, Dr. Reitz, I've got a text from the proctor that he's looking at his colleagues' exam answers, and I'm afraid he's cheating on this test, but I'll move on. Number of patients seen, I mentioned 1985, which is better? A, 1985, 9,700 patients, or B, 2023, 50,000 plus patients. Could you imagine seeing 50,000 patients in the first floor? And again, it's the leadership of your board of trustees, your administration, the forethought. I'm going to move on to question 8 now. 1985, scholarships awarded. Students, any idea what the scholarship award was in 1985 when Billy Cochran was the president? It was 0. And I was going to say, Billy, shame on you. No scholarship money in 1985 for the students. But I confronted him before this speech, and he said, Marty, that's what I inherited. I inherited a Southern College of Optometry, no scholarship money, no endowment, not a lot of breathing room. In the meantime, do you know what it is today, 2023? $2.7 million in scholarship money for the students. That's annual, that's not cumulative, that's annual for the students. And so congratulations that the trustees and your administration have recruited you as the best and brightest by providing scholarships to you. Let me move on though. Question 9, the endowment size. Again, when Billy Cochran was here in 1985, it was 0. No endowment. Today, you can guess what it is, but I'll tell you first. It's $55 million. Again, the administration leadership and the board leadership is to be commended for having a $55 million endowment to secure Southern College for the future. Here's a David West finance question. What was the budget in 1985? $9.2 million. Well, if you're in finance, it's a lot easier to administer a $9.2 million budget, but today, it's $35 million. We have really grown in the tenure since I've been here. I've alluded before to the clinic, and this is a Jim Venable question. Which is better, Jim, the clinic in 1985, when we had a very limited scope of practice, we had no presence before the legislature in Nashville, we had a lot of organizations saying optometrists should never have an expanded scope, and now we, on a national venue and on a state level, have representations in Nashville. And as of 2023, and I know this to be true because I read a publication from Southern College of Optometry, and that is fourth-year interns at Southern College are performing expanded preoperative cataract care and intraocular lens selection as part of their clinical training. Now, if you're an attorney, you don't have a clue what that means. But if you go to board meetings and you hear Dr. Venable and the president and the trustees talk about what that means, that is a significant advancement for students of SCO that will be trained to go out nationally to any state in America and be among the best and the brightest. And so that is our final question. I'm going to give everybody a pass. This is just pass-fail. So everybody here today is going to pass. But I was going to make another observation here. Imagine what it looks like to your profession, where you live today, how you count on Southern College, and what has been given to you through the education as an optometrist. During my tenure, SCO has grown from one tower to acquiring a true campus with a state-of-the-art clinic. In 1985, we had an Admiral Benbow with hourly rate residents, with razor wire, and a neighborhood where people like to come over across the Admiral Benbow and make it a very insecure campus. Since that time, sadly, I'm known for some of the things we don't have anymore, but it's all positive. We don't have the Admiral Benbow anymore. We don't have a vacant Ed's camera shop anymore. We don't have a J-Wags across the street anymore. We don't have a meth clinic across the street. There are a lot of things that SCO has done to enhance the security and the educational capacity and the ability of SCO to grow to meet the student needs now and into the future. And I promise I'm just about finished, but I'm going to tell you my enthusiasm about SCO. Graduates, you as members of the 23 class are equipped as any graduating class in the country to lead your profession. You've set the bar, and you've received and acquired tools to have a successful and balanced life. I know in my law firm from associates we hire, and I know you out there are saying, I deserve a balanced life. I can't work 80 hours a week. That's a new era, but you deserve to have that in your life. And I'm pleased that you've enjoyed the ability to see 50,000 patients a year because you've acquired a sensitivity to some of the poorest people in the country, some of the people whose only care, and I don't mean just vision care, but health care is through the visit to the optometrist. And again, in West Tennessee, you are the source of health care for so many people that learn about diabetes. They learn about hypertension. They learn about things other than just you need a new pair of glasses. And that happens in the clinic, and you have been educated and are given the ability to provide that health care no matter where you go. One of the things I mentioned is the advancement under Question 8, the Scholarship Fund. It's now $2.7 million, and I'm asking each of you in the class of 2023 to encourage your fellow graduates, when you leave here, it's going to be important to your successors that doubles and triples and quadruples over time, and that SCO continues to remain in the forefront of optometry. One of the most important contacts in your directory at SCO is George Miller. George is SCO's VP of Institutional Advancement. Your ongoing support of SCO through gifting and estate planning assures your alma mater will continue to provide the best education at the most affordable tuition in the country and remain the best school in the country for optometry. And I've brought a check today for $10,000 to give to George as my sign and my gratitude to the parents and the family members and the people that have sacrificed to make sure you get through your 4 years at SCO. And I hope everybody remembers how important SCO is to our community, to Memphis, to the patients we serve, to you and your families. And as you know, most optometrists come because either a parent or an uncle or someone that has mentored them is an optometrist. And I suggest from that someday your children, your nieces, your nephews, and your mentees are going to want to come to Southern College of Optometry in Memphis because it's the best and because you are such a role model to them from your education. And so I encourage you, remember SCO as you leave the campus, come back often, be generous with your college, and promote SCO. And most of all, congratulations, class of 2023. You're excellent. Thank you.
On occasion, the Board of Trustees recognizes individuals who have rendered distinguished service to the profession of optometry and the public by awarding the honorary degree Doctor of Humane Letters. Would Mr. J. Martin Regan please come forward? J. Martin Regan, Jr. has devoted his career to the practice of law, including nearly 40 years of service to SCO as the college's general counsel. A graduate of Notre Dame and the University of Tennessee, he has distinguished himself as an attorney in the Lewis, Thomas & Law Firm and through his work with the City of Memphis. In addition to his legal career, he has served as a director of the Memphis Land Bank, director and officer of Alliance Healthcare Services, and as a director and officer of Alpha Omega Veterans Services. He has received numerous honors in recognition of his work, including the Edward F. Barry Award, the National Conference for Justice Humanitarian Award, and has been named to the Best Lawyers in America for Corporate Law, Municipal Law, and Public Finance Law. His longtime service and wise counsel have enhanced the ability of SCO to carry out its mission. His expertise was instrumental in the development and financing for the multi-million-dollar construction of both the Eye Center and our academic facilities expansion. The impact of his work will continue to benefit SCO's students for decades to come. Subsequent to approval by the Board of Trustees of Southern College of Optometry, it is my pleasure to recommend J. Martin Regan, Jr. for the degree Doctor of Humane Letters.
Of the authority vested in Southern College of Optometry by the state of Tennessee, I hereby confer on J. Martin Regan, Jr., the degree, honorary degree, Doctor of Humane Letters, with all the rights, privileges, and responsibilities appertaining thereto. Congratulations.
The title Professor Emeritus may be conferred on those who have served in a distinguished manner for at least 10 years as a member of the faculty of Southern College of Optometry, and who have attained the faculty rank of professor, retired under honorable conditions, and fulfilled at least two of the following requirements: achieved national or international recognition, provided outstanding, sustained service to the optometric profession, or have a record of substantial publications in peer-reviewed journals. This honor is bestowed upon retirement from the institution. And this year, we recognize an individual whose lifetime of commitment to optometric education has had a tremendous impact on our profession. He has fulfilled all requirements to receive Professor Emeritus status. Would Dr. Glenn Steele please come forward? Dr. Glenn Steele is a Tennessee native who played baseball at Martin Methodist College, now the University of Tennessee Southern. He intended to go to medical school, but a teammate showed him a catalog promoting SCO, and the rest is history. In 1969, he graduated from SCO and joined the faculty as a contact lens staff doctor. He then attended a year-long fellowship program at the Gazelle Institute of Child Development at Yale University. There, he developed a passion for pediatric optometry that soon became his life's work. Dr. Steele returned to SCO and later became the chief of vision therapy, where he taught thousands of SCO students who are practicing across the nation today. He served as a faculty member for 53 years, a record in our institution's 91-year history. In addition to owning a private practice, his accomplished career includes service as a past president of the College of Optometrists and Vision Development and the Optometric Extension Program Foundation. He's also been active in the Tennessee Association of Optometric Physicians, the American Public Health Association, and SECO International. In addition to being an internationally recognized lecturer in his field, Dr. Steele was instrumental in helping launch the American Optometric Association's Infant C program nearly 20 years ago with former President Jimmy Carter. The Infant C program continues to provide infants with no-cost vision assessments, with numerous success stories resulting from early diagnosis and treatment of serious vision issues in young children. Dr. Steele's accolades are many, including Lifetime Achievement Award from SCO, induction into the National Optometry Hall of Fame, and Tennessee's Optometrist of the Year Award, among others. This June, he will receive the American Optometric Association's Distinguished Service Award. Dr. Steele's contributions to the field of optometry continue through his ongoing lectures, publishing, and involvement throughout our profession, even after his retirement last summer. His passion for pediatric vision and sharing his knowledge will continue to endear him to his former students, fellow alumni, and colleagues, as well as serving as a point of pride for his wife, children, and grandchildren. It is, therefore, my pleasure to recommend Dr. Glenn Steele for the title Professor Emeritus.
Upon the recommendation of the faculty and upon approval by the Board of Trustees of Southern College of Optometry, it is my pleasure to confer the academic rank Professor Emeritus on Dr. Glenn Steele.
While all members of the graduating class of 2023 have performed in a meritorious manner, successfully completing the optometric curriculum at Southern College of Optometry, and while great pride in these accomplishments should be shared by the graduates, families, friends, and distinguished faculty of the college, graduates who have achieved the second highest and highest cumulative grade point averages are, by tradition, recognized as the salutatorian and valedictorian of the class. However, this year marks a first. No salutatorian is being recognized this year because of the unprecedented academic success by 4 of our graduates, all of whom scored a perfect 4.0 grade point average to earn the distinction of co-valedictorian. It is my pleasure to present to you the co-valedictorians of the graduating class of 2023. At this time, I will invite each of these graduates to come forward individually and receive a plaque engraved in their honor as co-valedictorians of the class of 2023. Laurel Mary Heskett. Seth Daniel Jones. Molly Lorana Marie McNally. And Caroline M. Sutton. Latinized honors to acknowledge outstanding academic achievement while enrolled in the professional program at Southern College of Optometry were earned by members of the class of 2023. Those graduates having a cumulative grade point average of between 3.4 and 3.59 will receive the recognition of graduating cum laude. These individuals are wearing white honor cords designating this honor. Additional members of the class of 2023 are graduating magna cum laude, signifying a cumulative grade point average of between 3.6 and 3.79. Those graduating magna cum laude are wearing silver honor cords. Students graduating with a cumulative grade point average of at least 3.8 are accorded the honor of graduating summa cum laude. A gold and blue honor cord signifies this distinction. Those graduating with honors will be individually recognized as they are announced to receive their hoods and diplomas. Will the candidates for the Doctor of Optometry degree please rise? Dr. Wilson McGriff will now come forward and administer the optometric oath. Degree candidates, please remain standing once the oath is completed.
Please recite with me. With full deliberation, I freely and solemnly pledge that I will practice the art and science of optometry faithfully and conscientiously and to the fullest scope of my competence. I will uphold and honorably promote by example and action the highest standards, ethics, and ideals of my chosen profession and the honor of the degree Doctor of Optometry, which is being granted me. I will provide professional care for those who seek my services with concern, with compassion, and with due regard for their human rights and dignity. I will place the treatment of those who seek my care above personal gain and strive to see that none shall lack for proper care. I will hold as privileged and inviolable all information entrusted to me in confidence by my patients. I will advise my patients fully and honestly of all which may serve to restore, maintain, or enhance their vision and general health. I will strive continuously to broaden my knowledge and skills so that my patients may benefit from all new and efficacious means to enhance the care of human vision. I will share information cordially and unselfishly with my fellow optometrists and other professionals for the benefit of patients and the advancement of human knowledge and welfare. I will do my utmost to serve my community, my country, and humankind as a citizen as well as an optometrist. I hereby commit myself to be steadfast in the performance of this my solemn oath and obligation.
President Reich, upon the recommendation of the faculty of Southern College of Optometry, I present the candidates for the degree Doctor of Optometry. They have pursued their prescribed studies diligently, have passed all required examinations, and have demonstrated commendable proficiency in the art and science of optometry. I therefore recommend that the degree Doctor of Optometry be conferred upon them at this time.
Upon your recommendation, and by the virtue of the authority vested in Southern College of Optometry by the state of Tennessee, I hereby confer on these graduates the degree Doctor of Optometry with all the rights, privileges, and responsibilities appertaining thereto.
Please be seated.
Will the first row of candidates please rise and come forward to receive your diploma? Audience, please hold your applause until all names are called. Dr. Weston Acosta. Dr. Michelle Lynn Alimo, summa cum laude. Dr. Jacob M. Allen. Dr. Allen is the recipient of the Dr. Alicia A. Gross Scholarship in Neurorehabilitation. Dr. Anna Elizabeth Anderson, magna cum laude. Dr. Madison Janae Angel, magna cum laude. Dr. Angel is the recipient of the Dr. Robert and Evelyn Henry Outstanding Clinician Award. Dr. Andrea Antic, cum laude. Dr. Nathaniel James Baggett, magna cum laude. Dr. Baggett is the recipient of the Dr. Fred H. Mothershed Endowed Scholarship and the Drs. Glenn Steele, Alan Forr's Developmental Vision Endowment Scholarship. Dr. Lindsay Elaine Bergstrom, summa cum laude. Assisting President Reich in the awarding of Lindsay's diploma are Dr. Marissa Feliciano, University of Houston College of Optometry, class of 1992, Lindsay's mother, and Dr. Chris Bergstrom, University of Houston College of Optometry, class of 1990, Lindsay's father. Dr. Kylie Marie Bible. Dr. Samantha Ann Blanke, summa cum laude. Dr. Blanke is the recipient of the Burnett Endowed Award for Student Achievement in Research and the Dr. Deborah Moy Thea VT Low Vision Award. Dr. Carly Ann Buber, summa cum laude. Dr. Jacob Michael Bray, cum laude. Dr. Bray is the recipient of the Dr. Robert and Evelyn Henry Outstanding Clinician Award. Dr. Anna Britt, magna cum laude. Dr. Britt is the recipient of the Dr. Bernard L. Kahn Memorial Endowed Scholarship. Dr. Elena Jordan Brown, summa cum laude. Dr. Brown is the recipient of the Dr. Fred H. Mothershed Endowed Scholarship and the Winston Family Endowed Award. Dr. Celeste Bryant, cum laude. Dr. Justin Tyler Bush. Dr. Kimberly Ann Carter. Dr. Schwinn Ariel Chow, magna cum laude. Not yet. Dr. Chow was the recipient of the Burnett Endowed Award for Student Achievement in Research. Dr. Yan Chen, cum laude. Dr. Michaela Marie Cornwell Young, cum laude. Dr. Amy Ray Langford Cox, summa cum laude. Dr. Cox is the recipient of the Edelstein Endowed Scholarship. Dr. Gabrielle Marie Crockett, summa cum laude. Dr. Crockett is the recipient of the Susan Grissom Memorial Endowed Award. Dr. Angelina Bick Wynn Dang, summa cum laude. Dr. Dang is the recipient of the National Vision Endowed Award. Dr. Jacqueline Dang, magna cum laude. Dr. Charla Shea Darby, magna cum laude. Dr. Darby is the recipient of the Dr. William M. Dickerson Endowed Leadership Award. Dr. Roddy Rajnikant Daya. Dr. Elise Kane Dietz, summa cum laude. Dr. Matthew John Idem. Dr. Sarah Nicole Eveler, magna cum laude. Dr. Hannah Mae Fairchild, cum laude. Dr. Fairchild is the recipient of the James Bo Willis Endowed Scholarship. Dr. April Carolee Fincher, cum laude. Dr. Caitlin Fleischman, magna cum laude. Dr. Fleischman is the recipient of the Class of 1967 Endowed Scholarship. Dr. Jessica Nicole Fordyce, summa cum laude. Dr. Christopher David Frampton, magna cum laude. Dr. Frampton is the recipient of the Drs. Tom and Lewis Hyde Scholarship. Dr. Meredith Ann Fry, summa cum laude. Dr. Fry is the recipient of the Burnett Endowed Award for Student Achievement in Research. Dr. Shalin Muckle Gonthi. Dr. Mary Hannah Bird Garber. Dr. Garber is the recipient of the Dr. David P. Sloan Memorial Award. Dr. Ethan Gerstein, summa cum laude. Dr. Aaron Geyer Yamamoto, cum laude, in absentia. Dr. Emmy Taylor Gilchrist, summa cum laude. Dr. Alice E. Hansen, cum laude. Dr. William Harrison. Assisting President Reich in the awarding of Williams' diploma is Dr. Peggy Wyke, SEO class of 1983, Williams' mother. Dr. Lane Aaron Herndon, summa cum laude. Dr. Laurel Mary Heskett, summa cum laude. Dr. Heskett is the recipient of the Beta Sigma Kappa Honor Award Medal. Dr. Kimberly Hodney. Dr. Hodney is the recipient of the Drs. Glenn T. Steele and Alan Forr's Developmental Vision Endowed Scholarship. Dr. Hun Ki Hong, magna cum laude. Dr. Bree A. Hughes, cum laude. Dr. Maha H. Jabbar. Dr. Jessica Jeanette Jacob, magna cum laude. Dr. Mary Elizabeth Jones, summa cum laude. Dr. Jones is the recipient of the Southwest Contact Lens Society Endowed Scholarship. Dr. Seth Daniel Jones, summa cum laude. Dr. Jones is the recipient of the Southwest Council of Optometry Endowed Scholarship, the NBO Part 1, the NBO Part 2 Award, and the Beta Sigma Kappa Honor Award Medal. Dr. Edgar Fernando Judd, summa cum laude. Dr. Judd is the recipient of the Winston Family Endowed Award and the Drs. Tom and Lewis Hyde Scholarship. Dr. Melissa Kallick, magna cum laude. Dr. John Eric Thomas Campworth, summa cum laude. Dr. Chloe Inhe Gong, cum laude. Dr. Jamie Cow, summa cum laude. Dr. Chan Yoon Kim. Dr. Will Stephen Kreiser, summa cum laude. Dr. Kreiser is the recipient of the Christine and George Ducote Class of 1940 Scholarship and the NBO Part 1 Award. Dr. Tanner James Lafont, summa cum laude. Dr. Lafont is the recipient of the Dr. James D. Sandifer Endowed Scholarship. Dr. Maria Claire Layton. Dr. Layton is the recipient of the Bays Family Endowed Service Award. Dr. Phaedra Jane Lipsey, summa cum laude. Dr. Lipsey is the recipient of the Optometric Retina Society Award. Dr. Madison Nicole Locke, cum laude. Dr. Locke is the recipient of the Dr. Robert and Evelyn Henry Outstanding Clinician Award. Dr. Terry Lamb Liu, cum laude. Dr. Jacqueline Molish, summa cum laude. Dr. Molish is the recipient of the Sparrow Evans Wayman Endowed Scholarship. Dr. Amira Marsid, cum laude. Dr. Morgan Mathis, summa cum laude. Dr. Mathis is the recipient of the Spivey Family Endowed Award and the Esler Labs of America Award. Dr. Molly Lorana Marie McNally, summa cum laude. Dr. McNally is the recipient of the Bausch and Lomb Endowed Scholarship and the Beta Sigma Kappa Honor Award Medal. Dr. Lucas James Medeiros, cum laude. Dr. Medeiros is the recipient of the Malden Family Memorial Endowed Scholarship. Dr. Tyler Benjamin Meek, summa cum laude. Dr. Jacqueline Renee Melton. Dr. Kristen Nicole Miller. Dr. Corrales Dara Million. Dr. Million is the recipient of the Dr. Bernard L. Kahn Memorial Endowed Scholarship and the Optometric Retina Society Award. Dr. Caitlin Elise Millsaps. Dr. Millsaps is the recipient of the Dr. Robert and Evelyn Henry Outstanding Clinician Award. Dr. Kaylee Ruth Mokri. Dr. Michelle Morrison. Dr. Morrison is the recipient of the Dr. Mark A. Kranz Memorial Scholarship. Dr. Andrew Murphy, summa cum laude. Dr. Jaden Evelyn Ann Nelson, summa cum laude. Dr. Carly Jo Nestrud, summa cum laude. Dr. Nestrud is the recipient of the Lucy Catherine Bone Orgain Award and the Dr. Robert and Evelyn Henry Outstanding Clinician Award. Dr. Cam Tu No, cum laude. Cum laude. Dr. No is the recipient of the Lucy Catherine Bone Orgain Award. Dr. Ashley No, cum laude. Dr. Joanne Nguyen, magna cum laude. Dr. Noam Nicholson, cum laude. Dr. Jillian Norris. Dr. Taylor Elizabeth O'Daniel, magna cum laude. Dr. O'Daniel is the recipient of the Dr. Muhammad Rafatari Academic and Clinical Excellence Award. Dr. Lauren Olmstead. Dr. Olmstead is the recipient of the Dr. Robert and Evelyn Henry Outstanding Clinician Award. Dr. Lindsay Catherine Parnell. Dr. Emily Noel Pratt. Dr. Heather Carolyn Quintanilla, magna cum laude. Dr. Quintanilla is the recipient of the Southeast VT Forum Scholarship in memory of Dr. Sam Horner, Jr., and the Esler Labs of America Award. Dr. Jeelan Bassam Rahal. Dr. Kendra Marie Raths, magna cum laude. Dr. Adam James Reichert, summa cum laude. Dr. Reichert is the recipient of the Dr. Muhammad Rafatari Academic and Clinical Excellence Award and the Dr. Robert and Evelyn Henry Outstanding Clinician Award. Dr. Joelle Nicole Wrights, cum laude. Dr. Aaron Renfro, cum laude. Dr. Rachel C. Ressler, summa cum laude. Dr. Elizabeth Ann Richardson, cum laude. Dr. Richardson is the recipient of the Dr. Robert and Evelyn Henry Outstanding Clinician Award. Dr. Haven Louise Richardson. Dr. Adiba Safi, cum laude. Dr. Sakshi Sada, cum laude. Dr. Sada is the recipient of the Spivey Family Endowed Award. Dr. Matthew Schroeder. Dr. Nathaniel Shum. Dr. Shum is the recipient of the Susan Grissom Memorial Endowed Award. Dr. Kylie Noel Scott, cum laude. Dr. Scott is also the recipient of the James Bo Willis Endowed Scholarship. Dr. McKenna Ray Scott, summa cum laude. Dr. Carrie Irene Sestock, summa cum laude. Dr. Sestock is the recipient of the Vistacon J&J Vision Care American Optometric Foundation Johnson & Johnson Award of Excellence in Contact Lens Patient Care. Dr. Julia Ann Sewell, magna cum laude. Dr. Farheen Muhammad Salim Sheikh. Dr. Ashley Shannon, summa cum laude. Assisting President Reich in the awarding of Ashley's diploma is Dr. Ann Shannon, SEO class of 1995, Ashley's mother. Dr. Nathan G. Sharp, cum laude. Dr. Sharp is the recipient of the SECO Past Presidents Endowed Award. Dr. Maverick Nicholas Shumway, summa cum laude. Dr. Diana Tran Spring. Dr. Daniel Drennan Stacy, cum laude. Dr. Cameron Steflik. lowered. Dr. Caitlin Robin Straycheck, magna cum laude. Dr. Straycheck is the recipient of the Lucy Catherine Bone Orgain Award and the Dr. Robert and Evelyn Henry Outstanding Clinician Award. Dr. Caroline M. Sutton, summa cum laude. Dr. Sutton is the recipient of the Beta Sigma Kappa Honor Award Medal. Dr. Rachel Swearingen, cum laude. Cum laude. Dr. Shane Talley. Dr. Mary Teresa Victoria Tarmina. Dr. Reem Tarzi, summa cum laude. Dr. Olin Thomas Tatham III. Dr. Natalie Helen Terryberry, magna cum laude. Dr. Kaylin Thompson. Dr. Sarah Avery Thrower, cum laude. Dr. Thrower is the recipient of the Southern Council of Optometrists Clinical Excellence Award. Dr. Lindsay Morgan Tillery, summa cum laude. Dr. Tillery is the recipient of the Dr. Kevin Rogers Class of 2008 Practice Management Award, the Southwest Contact Lens Society Endowed Scholarship, and the Dr. Stanley M. Dickerson Endowed Leadership Award. Dr. Carolyn Tran. Dr. Kwatu Win Tran, cum laude. Dr. Adam Trevino. Assisting President Rice in the awarding of Adam's diploma is Dr. Cynthia Trevino, University of Houston College of Optometry, class of 1990, Adam's mother, and Dr. Raul Trevino, University of Houston College of Optometry, class of 1989, Adam's father. Dr. Ashley Vu, magna cum laude. Dr. Vu is the recipient of the Dr. James D. Sandifer Endowed Scholarship. Dr. Tianyu Wong, magna cum laude. Dr. Braden Joseph Worth, cum laude. Dr. Jonathan Wetzel. Dr. Courtney Ann Whitlock, summa cum laude. Dr. Nicole Wolfert, summa cum laude. Dr. Wolfert is the recipient of the Class of 1967 Endowed Scholarship, the Halpern Family Endowed Scholarship, and the Dr. Robert and Evelyn Henry Outstanding Clinician Award. Dr. Preston James Yar, cum laude. And Dr. Michelle Zhu Yan. Please join me in congratulating the class of 2023 for its accomplishments. Before we conclude today's ceremony, I'm proud to note that 3 of our graduates have been commissioned into military service. Retired Army Colonel Dean Swick, SCO's Executive Director of Information Services, will administer the oath to these graduates who are now invited to join him on stage. Drs. Carly Buber, Dr. John Eric Campworth, and Dr. Laura Olmstead.
Started, we all know that SCO is going to lead the way in everything you do in optometry, but we expect even greater things out of these 3 today as they take care of our service members in the field. So, without further ado, raise your right hand and repeat after me. I do solemnly swear. Support and defend the Constitution of the United States. Against all enemies, foreign and domestic. I bear true faith and allegiance to the same. I take this obligation freely. Without any mental reservation or purpose for evasion. will faithfully discharge the duties of this obligation that I'm about to enter, so help me God. Good job.
Thank you for attending SCO's 2023 commencement program. You are invited to join the graduates in the upper level of the Renaissance Convention Center for a reception. Our graduates will join you shortly as soon as they've taken their class photo. Regalia drop-off for both graduates and faculty will occur at the reception. This concludes our ceremony.